Hello everybody, it's At Home with Mindy. It's Monday bank holiday, so I think it's 26th of August. You may have seen this halogen oven when I very first started my channel. This is going to be the very first time I'm using it. The whole thing intimidates me because this lid is really big, it's heavy. The glass jar, it's not so much that I'm worried now, it's when it comes to the washing up bit, I'm scared something's going to happen. But it's like, nope, you've got to get around to using it. So what I've done is I've made a bran loaf. I've shown the recipe before. I've got it comes with trays. I've got the lowest one in first, because it does say you can cook directly, obviously not a cake, but you can cook in the actual bowl. So I've put the cake in. This is the bit that's kind of scary, because it's heavy. So I'm just going to get my glasses. Right, I've got my glasses on, I'll be able to see the numbers now. Right, in the normal oven, you cook this for an hour and a half at 160 Celsius. So I'm going to set the timer. It goes up to 60 minutes. And the temperature to, I think that's about 160. And then apparently all we've got to do is push the handle down. And then the light comes on. Wow. Right, that's going to be quite noisy though. But I've got another one. This one we brought, like I said, when I first started the channel. I think it was coming up for £50. I have got another one that's a lot smaller, so it doesn't seem so scary. And we're going to do roast tomato sauce in that one. So what I'll do is I'll get it from the other side of the kitchen and bring it over, and then we'll start on the next thing that I'm going to try and make. Like I said, the thing that scares me is the thought of washing that up, that I might drop it, because there's my hand. It's really big. I think, yeah, it's the size of my forearm. So we'll come back in an hour when the time runs out. That's the other reason I want to use it, because it's got a timer. But yeah, I'll see you back in a few minutes for you. Well, instantly for you. Hey, it's been about 25 minutes since you were here. It's looking really good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it off so it doesn't keep doing that. I'm just going to lift the handle, and then I'm going to bring you across to the other one that's not so scary. It's a lot smaller. In here I've just put a little bit of oil in the bottom, and I've got 1100 grams or 1.1 kilos of mainly cherry tomatoes. The big ones I've cut in half. I've stabbed them all quickly with a knife after washing them, and I've put a whole bulb of garlic in. Everybody I saw said if you're roasting them to leave them in the skin, excuse me, as a whole bulb. I don't want to do that. I don't want to play with the skins afterwards. So apparently all I've got to do now is a teaspoon of salt. This is fine grain pink salt. So just sprinkle that on. Give it a stir around. And a little drizzle of oil apparently. Right, most people use olive oil, but I've never ever bought that in my life, so that's probably only a couple of teaspoons. Why don't you reseal? I've just opened that bag for the first time and I can't get it to seal now. So then I'm just going to put the lid on unfortunately, where I've put them in my kitchen, I've got to unplug the strip lights. It's going to get dark now. And then this one, the controls are very similar, but I don't know if there's lights, because I got this one a couple of months ago. Also haven't used it, but I didn't pay for it, so it's not scary, this one. But put the timer all the way around to an hour. Oh, I don't know what temperature they used. I'll go 175 and then just push this handle down. Oh, so on this one I just need to push the tab forward first. So I'm hoping that I will use these more often, because obviously I said the big one was scary because of the weight of it, but I did obviously wash it first. But it's, you know what I mean, it's just scary when you've got a kitchen full of washing up and all that, where you're going to put it. So I will bring you back when they are finished. So bye bye. Right, this has been on, it's been on 55 minutes, so I'm just going to lift it up, because when I checked it a little bit earlier, the fork was practically clean. Whoops. See, that bit's scary, isn't it? Just trying to get it into the holder. I think that is done. There's nothing gooey on it. So I'm going to turn that one off. I don't know if you meant to force it or not, but I have. And then we're going to slide over to the tomatoes, which I've just turned down to 150 because the tomatoes are burning. That's been on 20 minutes, and you can probably just see the tops are catching. Where's the lid holder for that? That tiny little thing's supposed to hold the lid up. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to stir them. Yeah, I was supposed to be worried that the garlic would burn. It's the tomatoes burning. Right, and we'll come back to those when they're done, because I'm going to use those in tonight's dinner. And any leftovers I can freeze. Right, I let them cook for the whole hour, because there's so much liquid it was obvious it wasn't going to get ruined. I've put the lights back on and unplugged it all and that. Yeah, there's a few bits that got charred, which will probably add to the flavour. So I'm just going to blitz it now. I'm using the brawn one because it's got a flat bit in there. I have another one, but it's really hard to clean because it's not a flat bit. So I'm just going to blitz this. Hopefully it's not too loud. Would help if I switch it on. I don't mind doing it in here either because the blade won't go near the glass. Right, it's not bright red like you'd have in a shop bought one, but it's got all the goodness in it still, because it's got the skins and some nice garlic and that, and it's quite thin. But this is what we're going to probably use definitely for Yuki's dinner, and possibly some of it in ours. Yeah, and I'm gonna, you don't need to see it, but I'm going to make a banana cake with more frozen bananas, and if I get chance I'm going to make Connor some gluten-free bread. Yeah, so that's all I've done so far today. Right, it's still Monday. I am really in love with these two machines. So what I'm going to do is, the sauce that I made earlier, I got 2 jars from it, because I reuse my jars and I thought it'd be easier to store it in. Excuse me, my voice is going. But for the 3 meat eaters, we're having some chipolatas from Lidl's that are gluten free. They're brought reduced, had 60% off. Yuki will be having corn pieces, but I'm going to try and use these, the halogen ovens. In this little one I put a casserole bowl, because it cleaned up well, but because it's only for one person I don't need the huge bowl. The black one, as in machine, I'm going to put directly into the bowl. But so we're going to be having sausages with onion and peppers, and I'm going to just chuck in a few mixed veggies as well. And on the side we're going to have some pre-made roast potatoes that I did. I'd parboiled them and put them in the air fryer for like 15 minutes, so they've got a bit more cooking they can go through, because I knew I wanted to freeze them in order to save the potatoes. So that's what I'll be doing, and I will bring you back. The only thing I'm scared about is sort of like, normally I'd fry onions and peppers, so I'm going to put them in the base and hope that they don't burn. So I'll bring you back in a little while. Right, this one on this side, the onions and peppers have been in for 10 minutes. On this one I've done 15. The sausages still haven't browned that much, but it's only on 150 degrees. So what I'm going to do is remove the lid, obviously. Oh, forgetting the wires attached. I'm going to, with the veg, I'm just going to put like a quarter of it into Yuki's. And then she's got 100 grams of corn pieces going in. And just under half a teaspoon of thyme. And whatever that amount of smoked paprika. It just says paprika, but it is smoked. And I'll be doing the same with the other one in a minute. And then half of a jar of what I made. Maybe a bit more. And when I have to cook for 2 people, the small one is for the small pot. The big one is for the big pot. So I don't forget. So I'm just going to stir those around. Sorry about the noise. And then I shall probably be putting that on for half an hour. But I've got to go over to the big one and do the same on that side. So just move the stuff over. And I'll be going around the back of you. Sorry if this is turning out to be a long video. I just thought I'd show you what I do some days. But I'm showing you more in depth because I've never used this machine before. Right, the rest of the veggies. And already I don't want to use the stand. Right. and the homemade tomato sauce. So I haven't got to put garlic in because I did that earlier. And then a lot more of the thyme, a whole teaspoon, because it's for more people. And I'll go for 2 spoons of the paprika. And then give that a stir around. I also did make a banana cake like I said I would. I'll show you that in a second. But I did that in here as well. I'm tempted to make Connor a cake, but earlier on I took out some cinnamon and raisin gluten-free stuff for him. So I might just get him to eat up that first. And there's the banana loaf. So yeah, I really am starting to like these machines. So I've put the lid back on. And I'll leave it on 150. But I'm going to put that on for, I'll say 40 minutes. And I'll put this one on for 40 as well. What else have I got to do? I've loaded up the tray for the roast potatoes for the air fryer. And I've got a twin drawer one. So in this side I have, you wouldn't have seen it yet, a bake at home Cornish pasty from the butcher. They worked out as 27p each, so I'm cooking that ready for Barry's work tomorrow. But they don't need to go on for another 15 minutes. What I'll do is I'll show you all when it's plated up, and then you'll have sort of like a day in my kitchen. Right, so this one is Yuki's with the corn pieces, and it absorbed a lot of the sauce. There's the pasty for Barry's work tomorrow, but I should have put it on paper. It's slightly stuck to the bottom, so I'll wiggle that off once it's cooled down. I did some Saturday, but I did them in the big oven, and the lady said to turn them halfway. When I did that, I disturbed the bottom and they all split open, but they tasted brilliant. This would be like Connor's or Barry's. And that will be the obviously Connor's or Barry's. This one is definitely mine. I always take the one on this end. And when serving up, I always do Yuki's on this end, because then she knows that's the vegetarian one. So yeah, that is everything I've done so far in the kitchen. There's the dish I've got to clean up. This one, because I did it in a casserole dish, it'll be an easy clean up. But yeah, it's mainly just washing up now to do. So hopefully you like this video. If you do, I can do more of sort of like a day of what's in the kitchen. Because I mean tomorrow I've got lots to do still as well. So yeah, I'll see you on another video. Bye bye.